You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about one of my favorites, which is Al Michaels. Of course, Al Michaels has been around forever. Do you believe in miracles? The great USA hockey team and what's arguably the biggest upset of all time. He did the call. He's the one that said, do you believe in miracles? Ended up becoming a movie called Miracles. Miracle or Miracles, one of the two. And, of course, he called the World Series, the Earthquake World Series between the Giants and the A's back in the day. And then he hooked up with John Madden, and everything was football history from there on out. Of course, with Al Michaels. Al Michaels now works for Amazon Prime. He gave him a shit ton of money to introduce the NFL to that streaming service. And as always, I was looking forward to Al Michaels being back on NBC for an NFL playoff game. Now, guys, keep in mind, some of these people on social media, especially the younger people, they can't stand Al Michaels. Oh, he wasn't enthusiastic enough on that call. Let's get him off of there. I mean, there's certain things that go along with big NFL football games. Buck Aikman, Romo Nance, Al Michaels, and whoever they put him with, it doesn't matter. Tirico and Collinsworth. I like those two as well. But Al Michaels is the gold standard. He's the gold standard that just got screwed, and he was not expecting this. Al Michaels got blindsided by this, and Al Michaels has been removed from the NBC's NFL playoff coverage. This came at him out of nowhere. This news just came out, and they're blaming him and Tony Dungy last year because of the big Jaguars-Chargers comeback. It's the Jaguars in charge. I mean, come on. The perceived lack of enthusiasm last year during that big comeback. I hate this. I absolutely hate it. The legendary Al Michaels is out of NBC's NFL playoff coverage, the New York Post has learned. Who is this? Andrew Marchand. Okay. Michaels called last year's incredible Jaguars comeback win over the Chargers, but he and analyst Tony Dungy were widely panned for a perceived lack of enthusiasm. I mean, really? What do you want? Skip Bayless and Michael Irvin up there? And honestly, I love Michael Irvin. But if it was Skip Bayless, you'd be complaining about the other way around. Let's just be real. Skip would be losing it, and people would be like, he's got to calm down. All right. Michael's 79, maybe the greatest NFL TVT play-by-player of all time, confirmed, had a storied run at ABC and NBC calling primetime football before moving to Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime Video last season. NBC has 4 playoff games next month. The network's number one team, Sunday Night Football's Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth, will handle 3 of them, including one that will be exclusive just to the network streaming service, Peacock. That's still a terrible idea. It's too early to have an NFL playoff game on only a streaming service. There are so many people out there that are just rocking antennas these days on purpose, a move in that direction. It's crazy. When NBC has 2 games on the first weekend of the playoffs, its number one college team, Noah Eagle and Todd Blackledge, along with sideline reporter Catherine Tappan, will be on the call. I got to be real here. I know exactly who Todd Blackledge is because he was on ESPN forever. Who the hell is Noah Eagle? Question mark. And why is he involved in an NFL playoff game? NBC Sports VP Greg Hughes confirmed the assignments to the Post. Michaels did not return messages. Oh, it gets better. The move continues a dramatic rise for the 27-year-old Eagle, who will also call the Super Bowl as a play-by-player on Nickelodeon's SpongeBob telecast in February. What? Whatever that is, okay. Michaels' swap out by NBC has been in the works for a while, though Michaels was apparently caught off guard. During an early November interview with the Post, Michaels said he believed that he was still going to call the game on NBC, but did not know whom he would be working with. Wow. They blindsided a legend. That's how they're going to do Al Michaels? Unbelievable. That's shitty. I'm just keeping it real here. When informed by the Post about it being in limbo, Michaels sounded unaware of the possibility. Quote, "It's in my deal." So it's part of his contract. I hope he sues the hell out of NBC. Michaels said, "Where are you hearing that from? Question mark. It's part of my deal. Are you hearing something I'm not hearing?" There has long been tension between Michaels and top NBC executives, though they have done their best to hide it from public view. Even giving Michaels an interim title when he was replaced, there was a failure to truly define what the role really meant except for calling the playoff game. NBC decided to move on from Michaels even though he longed to stay at the top of the perch on Sunday Night Football. NBC had promised Tirico the lead role and kept true to its word even after Michaels went out with a tremendous performance for NBC in Super Bowl in February of 2022. During the broadcast shuffle, Michaels had interest in replacing Joe Buck when he left for Fox. Michaels was also ESPN and ABC's second choice if they failed to land Buck for Monday Night Football. Michaels landed at Amazon Prime Video, where he is called Thursday Night Football for the streaming service. With Michaels not returning for the playoff game, it ends what is arguably the most storied NFL Network broadcast play-by-play career of all time. Michaels and Pat Summerall, boy, he was good. Boy, he was really good. Pat Summerall are tied with 11 Super Bowls called on television. Michaels still has 1 year on his Amazon deal and told the Post in November he plans on returning. Meanwhile, NBC is very high on Eagle and Blackledge following their season calling the Big Ten. I guess I actually did listen to a couple of their games, Notre Dame and Ohio State. I mean, they were okay, but you immediately notice Al Michaels' voice as soon as he comes on. You're like, oh, this game, you got to pay attention. Al Michaels is on TV right now. The duo will have NBC's call of the Steelers and Bengals on December 23rd. That day, Tirico and Collinsworth will be in the booth for Bills and Chargers that is exclusively on Peacock. Good grief. I still can't understand the let's do exclusively streaming games as of yet. You know, like I said, so many people are just choosing to get away from that. When they're cutting the cord, they're cutting all the cords and going back to antenna, because in case you haven't noticed lately, if you hook up a local antenna, you've got like 52 channels and they're free. Free. My other favorite four-letter word that starts with an F. Free. I mean, you know, people, and it's younger people that are choosing to cut the cords as well. It's not one of these things where, oh, it's old people that can't find streaming. No, you combine that with the fact that Thursday Night Football is still having quality issues, buffering, bad video, etc. I mean, it's a terrible idea. It truly is. And losing Al Michaels for the NFL playoffs, I think it's a horrible look from NBC to cut out of all people Al Michaels. Like, if I had my choice, if somebody said, hey, who do you want to call the Super Bowl? I'd be like, well, the play-by-play guy's got to be Al Michaels. And then somebody besides Kurt Herbstreit. And I actually think he's a little better than people give him credit for, but I mean, at least you know the college history of the player when they start playing, but, you know, NFL's not his direct gig. And I wonder how much that, the fact that that's not really Herb Street's strong point, how much that actually has hurt Al Michaels and the perception of Al Michaels. Because they get trashed a lot on Thursday night. I've noticed that. I mean, look, just put Collinsworth and Al Michaels back together. Just do that. Move Tirico over with Blackledge. Guys, I'm going to tell you one reason they decided to make the Tirico move. People forget, Tirico was over at ESPN, Monday Night Football, big gig. John Gruden was on there, blah, blah, blah. And when he left for NBC, he went for two reasons, okay? He wanted to do the Olympics. That was a big deal to Mike Tirico, who's really good, really good. But he also wanted that Sunday Night Football gig, and it was part of the agreement that he eventually was going to make that transition over to Sunday Night Football. Now, he's on there. He does a great job. But he's not Al Michaels. Nobody is. Nobody. And Jim Nantz is really good. Joe Buck, really good. Neither one of those guys is Al Michaels. The only guy that has ever called a game that can be put up there with Al Michaels is Pat Summerall. Period. End of story. And we know Al Michaels and John Madden paired up after Summerall was out of the game. I hate this. I absolutely hate it. I think it looks terrible. NBC looks terrible. Tell me what you think. Al Michaels just got screwed. Blindsided by this. What a chicken shit move. There we go. I just said it. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.